Anos and some other students receive owl-delivered invitations to enroll at the Demon King Academy, a prestigious school for the descendants of the founder, the Demon King of Tyranny. On the entrance exam day, Anos meets a girl named Misha Nekron, and they get mocked from Zeeps, a powerful demon, before he effortlessly defies Zeeps' attempts to harm them, showing his power. During the practical exam, he faces off against Zeeps and uses his strategic prowess to repeatedly defeat him. Anos and Misha undergo magical assessments, with her excelling and him surprising everyone by shattering the assessment crystal due to his overwhelming magic power.
Wow!
After the tests, Misha waits for Anos, and he invites her to his house using the ancient magic of Gatum, where his parents, misunderstanding the situation, celebrate their wedding.
What the hell?
And they all enjoy a meal together to celebrate his acceptance into the academy. Later, Anos and Misha encounter Leorg Indu, Zeeb's older brother, who's looking for revenge on Anos. However, Anos outsmarts him, revealing the weak bonds between the brothers, and decides to give him a chance, but after failed attempts to prove their bond, Leor meets his demise, but he revives both brothers and declares himself as the Demon King of Tyranny. Despite Anos' immense power, he enters his new class and makes a terrible joke hearing, which Misha explains that the cross on his badge has labeled him a misfit, and he becomes the misfit of the Demon King Academy. In the era of mythical age, Hero Canon, Demon King Anos, Great Spirit Reno, and Goddess of Creation Militia are summoned at Demon Castle Delsgade, where Animus proposed sacrificing himself to create peace-enforcing walls. With the pact to meet Canon again as friends, and a grand explosion divided the world into four, setting the stage for the future. 2 millennia later, Isabella and Gusta are startled when their newborn son declares himself as Anos Voldigode. At the Demon King Academy, Misha tells him that no one has ever failed the aptitude test, so Anos, confused by this, uses mind reading to discover the founder's name as Avos Dil Hevia. Meanwhile, the girl mocks Anos' badge, and in class, the teacher Amelia Ludao tells students to cast guys and selects leaders. Anos volunteers, but his white uniform prevents him doing so, but to prove Hybrid's worth, he redraws the imperfect guys circle, winning leadership. And during introductions, Sasha Nekron, self-proclaimed Witch of Destruction, criticizes Misha, seeing which Anos unveils his true identity, challenging the class to choose leaders. Misha remains loyal to Anos, while Sasha, disapproving of her, activates destructive magic eyes, so Anos counters with his own, inviting Sasha to join his team, and despite being defeated, she initially refuses but eventually joins after he wins a team battle. Anos later invites the sisters to his home, and Sasha, before leaving, surprises him with a kiss. While walking home, Misha and Sasha discuss their feelings for Anos, to which Sasha denies having any romantic interest, but mentions her relief that he can resist the effects of her magic eyes of destruction. Reflecting on their shared past, she confesses that she could always look directly into Misha's eyes and offers an apology, which Misha forgives her for. Later, Ibis Nekron, one of the 7 elder demon emperors created by Anos, is leading a magic lesson where Anos notices that Ibis doesn't remember him. So he sends him back in time to recover those memories, but the past has been altered, leading everyone to believe that the Demon King is Avos Dil Hevia. And Evis decides to remain neutral, unsure if he can trust Anos, who possesses the power to alter the past. Later, students are tasked with retrieving magic items from the dungeon for the next exam, so Anos decides to obtain a scepter from the dungeon's lowest level for a perfect score, utilizing his knowledge of the routes, and lets Misha choose one of his personal items, the Phoenix Robe, for Sasha's birthday after collecting the scepter. However, Sasha betrays them by stabbing Misha, claiming she had been waiting for an opportunity to betray them, and warns Anos that any action will trigger a magical reaction, pushing the knife deeper into her. Unaffected, Anos catches Sasha's hand, revealing he had healed Misha upon entering and placed an illusion, after which Sasha tries escaping with a scepter, but he challenges her lie as her magic eyes of destruction should have activated during emotional moments but remain inactive when expressing hatred for Misha. At Misha's request, he lets Sasha go, and she flees with the robe and scepter, after which Misha reveals that she and Sasha will disappear at age 15, and that the person he thinks is Misha doesn't truly exist. When Sasha was in the womb, Ibis divided her into 2 infants with a plan for them to merge into a stronger demon at the age of 15. In present day, Anos catches up with Sasha, learning that her actions are driven by a desire to save Misha, and that she has devised a spell that allows Misha to live while she fades away. To activate the spell, Misha must reject Sasha, which explains her mistreatment of her. However, Misha refuses, and they tearfully wait for her oncoming disappearance, and Anos reveals a solution whereby sending them back in time, they confuse their current selves with the halves of their unborn fetuses, ensuring they are born as complete sources and true twin sisters. Unexpectedly, Ivus descends from the roof, stabbing Anos, and discloses his plan to utilize their fused bodies as a vessel for the true reincarnated Demon King. Unaffected by the injury, Anos retaliates by incapacitating Ivus with a thrown demon sword and activating Revive to send them back. But Hugo Laraviez, the Keeper of Time, intervenes and Ivus and Hugo merge, killing Anos. However, Anos resurrects using Ingol and sends the Misha and Sasha to the past to merge with their unborn selves, before summoning Venusdono to eliminate Ivus. Anos resurrects Ivus, realizing he is now fused with an unknown third source, and returns his unaltered memories, suggesting that someone working for Avos Dilhevia may have taken control of him, as Sasha and Misha return as true sisters with separate sources. But despite saving Misha and altering the past, Anos casually decides to return his scepter to get a perfect score for the exam. 2 millennia ago, Anos and his followers invaded the Great Spirit Forest Aharthorn to locate the Great Spirit Reno, and his trusted ally Shin Reglia earned the right to reincarnate by winning a bet with Anos, defeating the Great Water Spirit Lignon with one strike, after which he instructed Shin to search for Reno, while he confronted Kanan. In present day, Amelia reveals the arrival of a renowned sword-skilled royal student at the academy, and during the dungeon exam score announcement, he thwarts the teacher's attempt to decrease his score by finding the missing scepter, and his classmate Misa Iliorog defends him, calling out the bias against him, to which the teacher warns her against promoting Unitarian campaigns on campus. After the class, Misa shares details about the Unitarians aiming for a just society where royals can't take advantage of hybrids, and Anos discovers that Melhisparan, another elder demon emperor, supports Unitarian ideals. Learning of Mrs. Royal heritage, he decides to allow her and her Unitarian peers to join his team upon proving themselves. As demon sword lessons begin at the academy, with Anos and the new student, Leglan Zudli, being the only ones with demon swords. Lei, despite royal status, expresses a desire to join his team, leading to objections from Amelia, but Anos declines, telling Lei and Misa to challenge him in the upcoming team battle. In the exam, Misha and Sasha triumph over Misa and the Anos fan union, while he faces Lei using a simple tree branch, and Lei recognizes him from a past duel before Anos wins, convinced that Lei is Shin's reincarnation, as he vows to defeat Anos in their next encounter. After the duel, Anos sends an invitation for Lei and Misa to join him, Sasha and Misha, for dinner at his home, where between his parents' enthusiastic celebration of his victory, he formally welcomes them to his team. After the meal, Isabella and Gusta share the challenging circumstances surrounding Anos' birth with the Nekron sisters and explain their support for all his actions. Outside, Lei expresses concern to Misa about the potential health issues faced by half-spirit, half-demons, who are rumored to have a short lifespan, and the next day, Amelia announces the selection of 2 competitors, Lei and Anos, for the Magic Sword tournament, leaving him suspicious of a hidden motive. Later, Anos encounters Melhisparan, one of the 7 elder demon emperors, who, despite having his memories erased, confidently recognizes him as the Demon King of Tyranny, and remembers escaping to the Great Spirit Forest, but is unable to return to Dilhade due to barriers. To express gratitude to Misha for preparing his favorite dish, Anos takes her on an outing the following day, and after creating magical models, they visit a cat cafe, where they encounter Ivus in the disguise of a cat before Ivus informs him that someone above Melhez is organizing the Unitarians. On tournament day, Ivus provides him with additional information, after which Anos changes his mind upon seeing his parents' unwavering belief in him and faces off against the tournament's previous winner, Krut Ludal. Anos effortlessly defeats Krut Ludal, causing his sister Amelia to become furious, as Lei also wins his match, revealing his connection to a royalist organization, and backstage, he and Lei have a confrontation as Anos senses that something is wrong. Lei is being held captive by a contractual demon sword. After securing another victory in his next match, Anos entrusts his sword to his mother before visiting the Lognorth Magic Hospital Misa, meeting Sheila Gransley, Lei's adoptive mother, who is suffering from spirit disease, and shares Lei's backstory, revealing the royalists' influence on him. So in an attempt to help Sheila, Anos devises a new magic spell, with Misa volunteering to undergo the process. Meanwhile, Amelia targets Anos' mother and the Anos fan union to seize his sword and disqualify him, as she employs Golzora, but the fan union sacrifices themselves using magic to protect Isabella, resulting in severe burns before Anos intervenes,
Surprise, motherfucker!
paralyzing Amelia and employing Ent to heal all the injured girls and his mother. Expressing gratitude, he acknowledges their sacrifice for protecting his mother, and later angrily transports Amelia to the arena, where he inflicts a fatal wound with a sword and forces her to beg for her life, publicly acknowledging him as the true Demon King of Tyranny, before killing her, after which he immediately resurrects her as a hybrid, using Ajam to alter her perspective, cursing her to always return as a hybrid after dying.
No!
Back at the hospital, Lei intervenes to safeguard Misa's life force and has a heartfelt conversation with his adoptive mother, who encourages him to live life on his own terms, after which he leaves before Anos can return as the two confront each other in the tournament finals the next day. Before their duel, Anos discovers the rules threatening Lei and Sheila, and Lei risks losing his source as Sheila's condition worsens if her spirit drain ring loses magic power. Despite the danger, Lei decides to fight on his terms, allowing both of them to unleash their full powers, with Anos ultimately winning before the mastermind reveals himself and shifts the stage to another dimension. Summoning Gaios and Idol, Lei reappears, beheading both Elder Demon Emperors as it's revealed that he had survived due to Anos destroying the device earlier. However, Melhais reveals that he's holding Sheila hostage, prompting Lei to leap after her into another dimension and in an absolute space. Melhais confidently attacks Anos and Lei with Beno Yevon, so Anos depletes his magic power upon being forced to protect both places, before Lei surprises Melhais with his mother's spirit sword form, slashing through Beno Yevon and scratching Melhais' face as Anos reveals the spirit drain ring, and Beno Yevon reawaken his source of destruction, granting full magic power, after which he attacks and slashes off Melhais' legs before piercing his skull with Venus Dono, but Melhais regains control, summoning the killed Elder Demon Emperors, so Anos separates their sources, but an unknown figure appears, breaks into the dimension prison, and destroys them. After the figure leaves, Anos tells Melhais to resurrect Gaios and Idol, undo the dimension prison, and return to the real world, and heals Lei, resurrecting Sheila, revealed as a sword, after which they hug each other and Sasha rewards Anos with a sword and kisses him on both cheeks. 2 millennia ago, Anos confronted Hirokana near the Geradek capital and proposed ending their war, remarking that peace wasn't solely a human desire and explaining that Jirga attempted an unsuccessful attack, but he defended with a barrier. Amidst the conflict, Jirga accused him of betrayal, vowing revenge for his loved ones, but despite breaching the barrier, Jirga suffered mortal wounds from Anos, claiming humans killed his mother. Before teleporting, Anos invited Kanon to Castle Delsgade, and in the present, Sasha encounters Anos and Misha outside her estate. At school, Men of Historia, the temporary teacher, announces Interacademy classes at Azesian's Hero Academy Arklaniska and teaches the history of heroes, with Anos adding personal insights. After class, he tutors Lei, Misha, and Sasha and receives a report from Melhais on Eudor and Gaios, suspecting the Hero Academy before showing Lei his sword collection, seeing which Lei takes an interest in the unique sword Sigshesta. On the event day, Menno instructs students to go through the Hero Academy, but Anos teleports them and investigates with Misha with the extra time, after which they meet third-year Eleanor Bianca, who says Kanon raised the dividing walls 2 millennia ago, so he asks about the Demon Lord, learning the name Avos Dilhevia before she mentions the Jirga Kanon elite heroes, triggering Misha. Outside, she tells them of Kanon's murder 2,000 years ago by a human. Menno welcomes a group of students, surprised to find that Anos' group had arrived a day earlier, and notices a saddened Eleanor before they're confronted by Revis, accusing Anos of cheating, but he dismisses it. At an assembly, Ledriano demonstrates his magic for the Hero Academy, while Revis struggles for the Demon King Academy before Anos claims Ledriano cheated, exposing spell blockers and nullifies spells, creating a holy sword and causing tension. He receives intel from Ivis, learning that Kanon wasn't killed by a human as a phrase about darkness consuming Azesian, and a new hero with Evan's mana emerges, possibly targeting Anos. Misha and Sasha visit him, interrupting the conversation, after which he spots Lei and Misa, but Sasha advises against approaching them. Meanwhile, Lei wins an archery game, choosing a necklace for Misa as Anos explains the romantic story behind it, and the fan union learns that Lei gave it to her. At Lake Same, Anos suggests his team for the exam, but Revis and others are chosen, so he deduces that the Hero Academy is cheating with holy water and informs Meno, but stops him from intervening, using his magic to rescue his friends, but the healing doesn't do anything due to a stigma, so Anos offers help, and Revis reveals the Hero Academy's cheating. In the second round, Anos' team faces heroes Hein, Rouse, and Ledriano before he drains the lake to Hein's joke, and despite Diego wanting to cancel, the exam continues with Ledriano confident. In the second round of the Inter-Academy exam, Anos quickly uses guys to counter the Hero Academy's Asla as an eerie voice orders the heroes to kill the demons, so he tries a massive black hole, but it's stopped by a barrier wielded by a girl named Zeshia Canonic Jessica, who carries the Holy Sword of Light and Hail. So to overcome the barrier, Misha suggests building a demon castle inside it, and he teleports them inside, so she starts constructing the castle, enduring the barrier's effects as Anos protects her, and the heroes, including Ledriano, Haim, Rouse, and Zeshia, confront Anos before Misha successfully completes the castle. Ledriano introduces Zeshia, and they attack Anos, but he fights back, breaking anti-barrier chains and enduring their attacks as Sasha faces Rouse and Lei faces Hein and wins. Meanwhile, Anos exposes Ledriano for pretending to be injured, after which Zeshia and Ledriano try the Ask spell, but he counters with his own Ask, fueled by the love-inspired song from the Fang Union as the chant "Kill the Demon King of Tyranny" continues, and Misha says the voice is filled with hatred, so Ledriano and Zeshia prepare to continue the fight, but Anos stops her from casting a sacrificial spell and Misha heads to the shrine, where Diego ambushes her and injures her until Anos intervenes, casting a barrier and healing her. He questions Diego about the Hero Academy's motives, identifying him as the source of the voice, and transforms him into a demonic monster, revealing his true nature before Anos extracts and crushes Diego's source orb, killing him, and finds Eleanor encased in an orb at the temple's deepest part. And when asked about her identity, she says she's magic. Eleanor, created through a taboo magic spell transforming humans into magic, promises to dispel Gavule if released, which Anos agrees to, so she swiftly removes the Gavule spell and reveals the Hero Academy's true nature, involving Jerba cloning humans to pass on his hatred, creating spells to kill demons using Ask and herself before Jerga's source became two spells, Ask and Eleanor, so she requests him to destroy her, while Zeshia clones, calling Eleanor their mother, ask Anos to save her, to which he promises to save both her and the clones before Diego interrupts, and she confirms he's a regenerating clone. The demon elders, including Medoanzoro and Eldora, appear with Avos Dilhevia before he takes Evan's mana, creating a black hole that consumes Diego and his knights, and formally introduces himself to Anos and teleports away as Diego announces Evan's mana's theft, and the demon elders declare war against humans. Anos learns about the coming war from Melhes, Ivis, Idol, and Gaios, and despite his initial refusal, the demon elders Misha, Sasha, Fam Union, and Lei insist on helping, so he agrees, planning to move out the next day, and Misa expresses concern to Lei about the battle, so he assures her, taking half of her necklace as a promise. Anos orders everyone not to die in the trivial war effort, and Misha and Sasha face Dilhade forces in the west, Lei and Misa handle the east, and the Fan Union supports the rear guard, while Anos and the demon elders attack the enemy stronghold, restraining other elders, but finding Evos missing, after which he confronts Evos, identifying him as Cananon before Evos reveals his true identity as Lei, Canon's true reincarnation, manipulating Anos into thinking he was Shin's reincarnation, and remarks that humans are weak, revealing his motive for planning everything. 2,000 years ago, Lei faced a deadly encounter with one of Jerba's followers, and in the future, Jerba aimed to eliminate Anos once he regained his Demon King power, so to alter this destiny, Lei used Evan's mana's power, creating the persona of Demon Lord Avos Dilhevia, and his plan involved humans defeating Avos to stop the hatred Jerga had created, and despite Anos attempting to put off Lei, he forced him into a fight by holding Lei's necklace hostage. In the battle, he swiftly destroyed 6 of Lei's 7 sources, and despite the odds, Lei refused to surrender and eventually stabbed and shattered Anos' source, who then posed as Avos, ordering his troops to retreat. Anos discreetly returned Lei's necklace as Evan's mana withdrew from Anos, turning to dust, and Lei announced the death of the Demon Lord, to which Diego angrily ordered Zeshia to exterminate the demons through self-destruction, and as an ASC magical circle formed, revealing Jerga, Lei, Misa, Eleanor, and the fused Nekron stopped the Zeshia's self-destruction as Anos reappeared, dismissing the Zeshias and revealing himself with the Agromant spell before Jerga transformed into a giant golden knight, and despite initially struggling, Anos and Lei defeated him. After the battle, he absorbed Eleanor's source, allowing her to maintain power around the Zeshia, and upon returning to Dilhade, Demon Lord Elio Ludwell and the Demon King army acknowledged Anos as their founding ancestor, after which he, Misha, Sasha, and Eleanor visited his home, surprising his parents with Eleanor's presence, leading to them mistakenly thinking that she's his third wife with 10,000 children.